my life is full of stories, but my client success stories are just something that fills me up so much.
Welcome to Real Estate Success Partner. We're your hosts, Devin Dubuc,
David Nguyen.
and we're here to talk about how to have great success in any market. Today, guys, we've got a returning guest, Clint Richey, and you guys have heard a little bit about Clint, but Clint, you've brought another guest. Who do you have with you today?
Yeah, thanks, Devin, man. I've got one of the top 100 agents at Monument Realty, the great Glenda Fabregas, and she's just a pleasure to work with. Sweet lady, cares about her clients, and man, it's just an honor to have Glenda here. So, Glenda, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm so humbled.
Oh, we're so happy to have you here, and you have no reason to be humble because you're doing some great things for the community. And at the end of the day, we want to showcase that, right? We want to show off, what you're doing over there, and how you're helping homeowners get into homes. And just showcase your production report. I mean, again, you're killing it over there, and people need to know how to find you, right? So tell us a little bit about you. What's the 5-minute or 2-minute spiel on how you got started, where you came from, and why you're doing what you're doing?
So my mom actually is a real estate broker in Puerto Rico, where I'm from. So her love for her clients, the way that she always is looking for different ways of helping people, really was my motivation when I started.
The passion.
Yes,
You were born in it.
she's the most passionate person I've ever met, and the way that she cares for her client was a really great inspiration. When me and my husband moved to Texas, she was the one that said, "This is what you should do." And of course, nobody knows me best than my mom. So I took the plunge, and I was a little nervous because, of course, moving from Puerto Rico to Texas without knowing anyone.
Right.
And half of Texas is.
How do you do that, right?
How do you do that? How do you start a career
But you did.
that's based on sphere
Yeah.
when you don't know anyone?
That's right.
So it
That's
was
right.
a big challenge, but her trust in my abilities really pushed me to get out of my comfort zone and just go with it. And I'm so grateful.
That's awesome. And that's, sometimes that's the hardest part is getting out of our own head, but that's what moms are for.
Yes.
They point you in the right direction. They say, you got this, kid, get out there and do it. You're amazing at what you do. And we know you're amazing at what you do because we see what you do. Right. So you get to Dallas, or is it Dallas first? You said Texas.
Yes.
So was it Dallas first?
Yes. We moved to Addison initially.
Okay.
And I started. When I
And
started,
we're shooting out of Addison, so you're back home.
Yes. Yes. So I started here, and I was just going anywhere that real estate
That's right.
was needed.
Yeah.
Anywhere that people needed help, I was just there.
You're like a superhero.
So what's that
Families
timeline,
that need
Glenda?
help.
How long have you been a realtor in Texas?
So a little bit over 3 years.
Wow, a newbie but an oldie.
Yes, a little bit over 3 years.
So 3 years. And 3 years in Texas? Did you jump in when you first moved here, or?
No, we are gonna be in Texas 5 years.
5
this
years
August.
in Texas. Okay. Got in 3 years ago.
Yes.
And who are you working with? What's your team?
I'm with Monument Realty.
Okay.
The best
They're
company.
awesome. We love Monument.
They're incredible.
Yep.
The passion that Eddie and Tiffany brought in
Right.
from the beginning, and the way that they choose their agents, it's something that really resonated with what I wanted.
Right.
A family, and
That's awesome.
They care so much about the people that we serve. It really is more than I could ever ask for.
Well, I love that you say family because we've mentioned it before, but that's our number one core value with our branch. We're the Dubuc team at Click and Close Mortgage. And, what we're all about is helping families find homes, right? That's one of the most important things. But not just helping families find homes, but also making sure that the people that work with us are our family, but that they also have time to spend with their families. I think a lot of people get that wrong, and there's got to be a good work-life balance. And sometimes this industry makes that difficult, right? But it sounds like you've landed at a home that shares those types of values, which is right in line with what you do, right? So, do you have a team that you work with? Are you independent? What's your
I'm
structure look
independent,
like?
but in Monument, you don't need to be in a team necessarily,
Yeah.
because since, like I said, we're family, everyone is there to help everyone out.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's really great.
Sounds familiar, right, Clint?
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, so I've had the pleasure of sitting down and talking to you one on one, and we've had breakfast, and you told me your deep, your inner secrets on how you became so successful. So can you share with the audience? You've had some great mentors. Obviously, your mom being one of them. But when you first came over here, you told me about a lady specifically that actually helped facilitate and give you confidence to go. Yeah, I can be really good at this. I'm in a new country. This is fairly new. There's a little apprehension, but she was like, "No, you can do this, Glenda. Go ahead. Can you share a little bit about that?"
So yes, when I started my second brokerage, Mel Bustos, she was the rookie trainer there, and she was like a babe, like a mama bird pushing me.
Right.
I was literally so scared when I started, and she would be, Glenda, you have to call people, you have
Yeah.
to call leads, you have to just
Take action.
take action. And I was really scared. And Mel with Kenya Shane, she was also the mentor in the group of that real estate company. Both of them really pushed me out of my comfort zone,
That's awesome.
and actually they pushed me into my comfort zone.
I like that.
Yes, thinking about it, because at the beginning, when you're in real estate, they tell you all of the scripts and things, and it was more when I got in touch with the connection with people.
Absolutely.
For me, the difference has been helping others.
Yeah.
That is my bottom line. And I don't discriminate if you have a $200,000 budget or if you have a $1 million budget. For me, all my clients are the same. They just want to get into a home.
Yeah.
And
So you're there to help anybody.
yes, and
Yeah.
for
If
me
they need
is
keys to a door, right, they want to build that family wealth, right, and they're looking for a house, whether that's a small home or a large home, they're all the same. They're all equal.
and it's so rewarding to be part of something that's so important in the life of a family. Just the opportunity to get into their own home, not renting, just calling something their own.
Absolutely. No, I mean, that's, you're helping people with the biggest purchase of their life. It's the place they go home to it every night, and it's associated with you because you're the one that helped lead them there. You walked them through that process. You set them up with the right lender, right?
Of course.
And you wanted to make sure that that path to home ownership was a simple one, right?
Yes, and not only that, they become my friends. That's one of the things that I always say. My clients are my friends, and the connection that we build it's so special.
Yep.
I call them and I go to lunch with them, not because they're clients, because we get into another type of relationship after the process.
Like-hearted, like-minded. It's a phrase you'll hear often on this show. And, we talk about that, working with the right people and working with the right partners. It's important you find like-hearted, like-minded people. This is our career. This is something we're passionate about. And you want to make sure that you're working with people that have the same interest in mind, right? And that's part of it, is finding the right clients to work with too. People that you can become friends with. And it doesn't stop at the end of the transaction, right? You're there for them in other parts of their life, and you're there for them when they need you, right?
Yeah, I've had clients, and it's so interesting. They have called and said, Glenda, we just moved here. Can we put you in our emergency contact list for our kids' school? I'm actually
that's
in about 4 or 5 emergency
That's
contacts.
the true mother hen, right?
And
That's trust. That's trust.
one of them, this is a funny story. I wasn't a realtor for her. I met her at an open house that I was hosting for a listing of mine.
Right.
And we were talking and we hit it off. And I said, listen, I know you have your realtor. There was already a signed contract and everything,
Right.
but I really want to be your friend. So when you finally move here, please reach out to me. So not only that, when she finally chose the house, she was so excited. So she called me, and when she told me where it was, I want to see it. So I went to see it. I
so
took a
cool.
video of the way because she was a little nervous
Right.
about the drive. I took a video of the drive to her house, and I took a video and her husband, because she was with another the realtor was like a company. So every
Right.
time she called, she was relocating, they were giving her a different one. So I was like doing it, and her husband was like, "That's the best one. That's the best one that they've assigned you to." And she's like, "This is Glenda. She's my friend."
She
So
needs to be the one.
long story short, she moves here. So I didn't actually meet her kids during the process. I just met
Right.
her that one time. So she's one of the ones that asked me to be in her emergency. I'm like, please send me a picture of your little one because I haven't met him yet.
That's so cool.
And it's important that I know how he looks like.
If
Yeah,
you're
if
going to
I'm-
be a mercy contact and get him, you better pick the right kid.
I don't know who I'm here for, but his name is.
Can you point him
I
out
don't
to
think
me?
that works well in the school district, right?
But I love her. She's a great friend now, and it's all about that for me. Relationships. I don't care if I'm a realtor or not. I want just to help you.
That's magic.
So it's amazing.
You know what I hear? I hear connection. I hear trust. I hear loyalty.
Thank you.
Those are some adjectives that we just met, shortly the other day, and those are definitely adjectives that describe you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, and we talk a lot about success, and success is, again, a lot of people associate it with money, but we associate it with helping people, helping families, being a part of that. We always talk about generational wealth. A lot of people don't realize it, but when they're renting, they're not creating wealth, right? But we know property values increase. In fact, the boom the last couple of years increased at an insane rate. But sometimes when you're helping families, it's especially some of the underprivileged ones, they've never seen generational wealth. They don't even know what it looks like, and when you put them into the right house, you've got
They don't even think it's possible.
they don't think it's possible. You connect them with the right agent. You get them with the right lending partners, right? You find that magic on how we're going to get them into that house, and then they get in there and they see increase in wealth, and they're actually, they're seeing money in their family for the first time ever, and you're leading them to that path, right?
It's so interesting you mentioned that because my life is full of stories, but my client success stories are just something that fills me up so much. I received this lead, I think a little bit over 2 years ago,
Right.
and I was showing houses to the daughter. She was the one that was going to purchase the home, and the mom was coming along, and we finally closed on her home, and the mom asked me, Glenda, do you think I could own a home like that? And I was, yes, of course, let's get you ready,
Right.
because I didn't know her finances or anything, but she had rented her whole life.
Yeah.
And it makes me really emotional because when we close on her house, she's the most proud homeowner I have.
That's amazing.
She posts pictures of her every little thing she does. She hosts parties, and and whenever we talk, she says, "Glenda, I'm so grateful because if
Yeah.
it weren't because of this, we wouldn't be
If it weren't
homeowners."
because of you, Glenda.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
again
Don't be
take that humble hat
Don't
off.
be humble,
right?
I
Glenda.
can't.
If it weren't because of you taking an interest and helping her see that she could also be a homeowner, right? I love the passion, and at the end of the day, it just shows what your superpower is, right? Is that you care.
I do
Yeah.
so much.
Yep.
For me, it's just, it's not a transaction.
Right.
I think when a lot of agents, when I give back to my brokerage, I do training for the new agents. We have
That's
a program
awesome.
called SEALs, and whenever I'm with them and I'm talking to them, I'm very very specific about, do not follow the money.
Yeah.
Because everyone that follows the money, that's not what it is.
Yep.
If you're really interested in helping people, if you're really interested in making a difference in their life, then the money will follow.
The money comes.
100%.
It will come. You're right. Anytime that you're trying to do things and be selfless, right, and do them for the right reasons, the money catches up to you.
Yeah, one of the greatest things that I appreciate about you, Glenda, is aside from the caring and loyalty and the things, is that you're an educator, right? And so, you and I have had the privilege of working on several transactions together, and we communicate back and forth after we talk to the client, so that we can get on the same page and we can actually be in unison when we're talking to the client. And so it doesn't sound like a sales pitch. It actually sounds like, hey, we genuinely care about you, and this is the best course of action and way to move forward. Is that just does that just come natural to you? Or are you just carrying mama hen to everybody? I know we've talked about your son and how much you love and adore him,
I do.
but it just seems like that radiates, on a day-to-day basis. Is that
I think yes. It's funny you say that. My family, I'm always in everybody's business because I want everyone to be okay, and I definitely think that becomes me in when I'm in real estate. Knowledge is power, and an educated client can make smart choices.
Right.
And I've had clients that have, oh, this is my budget, like 800,000, and when
Right.
I talk to them and I see what they're all about, maybe that's not the right move for you right now.
Yeah.
And they appreciate it.
Yep.
And when we go into a home and I point out different things, it's a little more about the education because if they
Absolutely.
know what they want, they know what they're doing, then they can make a choice that's good for them and their family.
That's right. So you're not putting them in there because the loan size is bigger and you make more money.
Oh,
right?
no, never.
You're making sure that the budget fits their needs, right? And that at the end of the day, they're finding the right house. Whether that's going to pay you more money or less is irrelevant. You're guiding them into the right property. And I think that's so special, because again, you mentioned that a lot of people chase the money and they'll put somebody in a product just because they know they'll commission higher on that, right? And here's, Glenda over here with her cape on, right? Making sure she's, guiding people to the right properties. And that's an amazing thing, and that's a quality that makes you special. So I've got to ask because we talk about your production. We know that you're hitting top production numbers with Monument. We know that you're educating consumers and you're educating new agents to how they can become successful like yourself. You mentioned being a mother, and I wanted to bring that up, right? Because success also goes into your family. So talk a little bit about that. I also know you guys got a trip coming up to Japan really soon, right? That's kind of
Yes.
cool stuff.
I'm
Maybe
so
a little fruits of
excited.
your labor, right? So your successes, but tell us about that. How's that family life look?
So my husband is the most amazing man. And I get emotional again.
that's okay?
It just means you're real.
He's just incredible, and he's the reason we're here. My
Yeah.
husband's a pilot, and unfortunately in Puerto Rico, he was not gonna get another job after the plane that he drove was sold.
Gotcha.
So we ended up here,
Right.
and right now he's a corporate pilot,
Very cool.
and he travels to various fun places.
That's awesome.
And we have a 14-year-old son, FJ. He's an anime fanatic. He loves the Japanese culture. He's an artist,
That's awesome.
and that's why we're going to Japan. We want to treat him because he just turned 15. So that's
You're
the
encouraging
purpose.
his passion, right?
Yes, anything
Taking-
that he wants.
Making his dreams come true.
And just explore. He really loves the anime. He loves to draw. So one of the fun things we're gonna do, we booked a anime session with a professional
Oh,
anime
wow.
drawer there, and Mom is gonna go too.
Can we go too?
right? Can we jump in the bag?
Well, I have a big suitcase, so maybe
You mentioned a photo shoot over there. Do you got some plans for yourself?
I want to be a geisha.
That's super
So and then my sweet mother-in-law, which supports me so much, Mary Lou, I want
she's
both
here
of
with
us.
you today.
She's here with
Yeah.
me.
can
She's
give her a
she's
shout
with
out.
me all the time.
I
She's
love
she's my partner in crime.
cool. Yeah. Very cool. So Japan, supporting your son to do the things that he loves about, right? Pointing him towards his dreams for his success. I mean, that's amazing stuff. So talk to me about this award. So you won an award with Monument this year. What was it for?
Oh my goodness. They gave it to me yesterday, so I'm still
Yes.
fresh.
Yes.
Yay, awesome.
Perfect timing here. You should have
So-
brought it with you.
My mother-in-law wanted to bring it.
You
but I
should
said
have. We
no.
would have put it right here on the
Listen
table.
to mother-in-law.
Yeah, listen to
She's like,
Mom.
"Are you bringing your award?" And I'm like, "No." Yeah, so I was in the top 50 and they did a great
And
event
50 out of
yesterday.
how many? Let's
970.
Oh,
gonna say,
wow.
let's
Yeah. So you're
define how many.
terrible. You're
Yeah,
just,
not top 50 of 50.
That's not top 20%. That's not top 10%. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so I made it the top 50, and
and in a market where a lot of people were struggling too, right?
honestly, the market last year was just insane because with multiple offers being on the table, navigating that and just advising clients on
Absolutely.
what's the best route for them to even get a house was really a struggle. But I'm so grateful for it. I was so happy. When they gave it to me, I looked at the pictures. And I look crazy because my smile was like,
It's all those bright lights, right? And
yes, of
cameras
course.
and
I'm like, yeah, that's not my
microphones.
real smile.
Yeah.
But I was really, really, really happy. And not only that, being in a room of people that I admire so much and that I look up to, and just realizing I'm one of them is just I don't have words. It's really humbling.
Yeah.
Well, you
Yep.
deserve it.
Thank
You
you.
do. You do.
You're too hard on yourself,
Yeah,
by the way. I
exactly.
can tell you're too
Yeah.
hard on yourself because you're really doing amazing things and for all the right reasons, So no question that you deserve it. No question you deserve it.
Thank you.
So Clint, you work with Glenda. You guys have done some deals together. What's that partnership look like?
Well, it's once again, it's awesome because we are like-minded and like-hearted. The
Yeah.
catchphrase of this podcast,
Right.
and it's a situation where she'll call me and she'll go, Clint, I've got this client, and here's kind of what we're looking at. I want you to talk to him and put him in the best scenario possible. Then I have a conversation with them, and then immediately, because we often have a motto here: if you touch the lead, you touch the partner.
That's right.
So that we can
That's
be
right.
on the same page. We have a conversation. I said, Glenda, okay, I talked to, Pi. Pi's one of our clients. Awesome guy, very analytical, engineer type, very
Right.
analytical. So definitely had to make sure that we're on the same page on
Absolutely.
all fronts.
Absolutely.
Because he was a little nervous. I mean, this was his first house, and he was very nervous, very cautious.
Well,
He's
it's
not-
your
he's-
job to give him a clear
yes.
path.
Yeah, and he's
right?
not from this country, so
Right.
obviously there's some apprehension there.
Sure.
And so I met him off site, and we went through everything with a fine tooth comb, met face to face, and then I called Glenda that night and said, "Hey, met with Pi, went awesome."
Right.
And she
Incredible.
and she was like, "Thank you so much for taking time out of your day, because it was after hours. You didn't have to do that." And I go, "No, absolutely, I had to do that because that's why we're a good partnership, because we are like-minded and like-hearted. We
Yeah.
just want to help and make sure that a client is educated." And so to ask
Well,
the
we
question,
we know something too, right?
Yeah.
We know that the biggest issue that realtors have with most loan officers is that they don't close on time, right? There's a lack of communication during the process, or they don't follow up on leads, right? And Glenda, would you say that's a problem for Clint? Is there?
Oh,
any-
no. Clint goes above and beyond, not only with them but with me.
Right.
He sends me a text. Remember, I'm here for you on the weekend if you have
The
anything.
working this weekend.
And for
Yeah.
me, I have a phrase that my husband does not like. I say, if my eyes are open, I'm working.
Right.
I tell my clients, you have to call me at 11. You call me at 11. If by any miracle I'm sleeping, I'll see it the next day.
It's that
But
passion.
I want to be available. And for me, one of the most important things is that I need a partner that works when I work.
Right.
I don't want a partner that if I finish showings Sunday at 6 and I'm about to put an offer
Right.
after I explained to my clients and I need the letter updated to the price we need.
These things are important.
That they're going to say, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'll just,
Because your offer
tomorrow."
might not hit first, and then you're not looked at, and somebody else gets that contract, and the borrower that you're looking for doesn't get the home that they want. So you need to be available, and you need your loan partner to be available, and that's where the real estate success partners come from, right? So, Clint, you were talking about that process, and I cut you off. So, let's hear about that, right? What's it like working with Glenda?
well, so like I said, a lot of it is you really can really see the passion and the caring that she has with each client, and that's that's important to me because David and I talk to realtors all the time, and one of the common themes that I've when I ask a realtor, it's like, what got you into the business? And, I've heard several times from realtors that are current realtors now that, hey, I got into the business because I had a realtor at one point and I didn't feel like they cared about me as a person. They cared about the commission, or they cared about,
I've had that experience.
anything other than, me as a person and my family, which, we've talked about this. The most important reason for people getting into houses is to take care of their family
That's
and
right.
create generational wealth for their family. And so, obviously that's not a problem with Glenda, because she does care, and she's just the sweetest lady, and I would go to Mars and back for her, no matter what.
Thank you.
And here's the other thing. The other thing is even though she's in the top 4% of Monument,
Right.
she's very open-minded in regards to how to be more productive and how to get better and how to sharpen her skill set so that she's the best that she can possibly be for her clients.
Kaizen.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Kaizen.
yeah,
You want
Kaizen.
to tell what's Kaizen mean?
Well, I'm going to butcher it. You go ahead.
And so it's a Japanese business philosophy. It's actually one of our core values. And what it talks about is consistently looking for better ways to improve yourself and your business, to avoid redundancies, and exponentially grow. That way you can grow with the market, you can grow with the trends, but you're never holding yourself backwards. You're always looking forward.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm going to research that.
That's why we
It's
pulled
our
it into our core value.
It's part of our
It's-
core values.
It's incredible.
Yeah,
it's
well,
the first time I've
and,
heard
and
it.
that's you just didn't know it.
Yeah, you just didn't know.
And so that's that's the other thing I appreciate about her is like typically, and Dave can probably add to this, is like typically highly successful realtors, some of them are open minded, and they want to get better and they want to sharpen the pencil
right.
and implement Kaizen, and some of them are like, no, this is
How it's done.
This is
and
how it's
I'm
done.
gonna
This
do
is,
it.
how, this is how I've done it, and this is what I'm going to do. And no matter what, come hell or high water, I'm going to do it my way.
But that's normally not our agent because we're looking for like-minded people. And at the end of the day, we may have an agent out there that's doing a tremendous amount of business that we just don't associate with because they're not on that same path, right? And for us, it's important that we create business partners that we enjoy working with. This is our career, right? This is our passion. These are the things that we do. And if you align yourself with the wrong partners, you're not having fun, We want to have fun with what we're doing. We want to have fun and we want to help people. That's what it's all about. David, you're sitting back in the cut over there. You haven't said a ton. Are you just taking it all in? Like, what do you think? What do you think here?
I'm just listening. I'm enjoying the talk. The
And I
energy.
say because David's normally he loves to talk.
I'm very talkative, but maybe it's just the energy, the aura. I'm just taking it all in. You're just a real person, Glenda.
Thank you.
You're just whenever you talk about your family or your work life, or you just beaming. I mean, I can feel the energy coming from you, and it's just so real. It's awesome. And we have realtors on this show all the time, but I can see why you're a top producer. What the things I hear today is you care. You care about your customers.
That's the
you care about
superpower.
your clients. We always ask our realtors,
Every
what's your
time.
superpower?
Yep.
Glenda, I think your superpower is caring. It's just one of those things that's what makes you who you are. So we're honored. I'm just honored just to sit here and listen to your story.
Oh my goodness. I'm honored to be here.
Go ahead.
Well, I was
Go
going to
ahead,
say,
Clint.
so what's in store for Glenda in 2023?
Yeah, let's hear about the future.
I know you've had a recent surgery that you're recovering from, and I'm happy to hear that you're doing so well.
I'm so thankful to that lady over there.
Hopefully my flowers that I sent over helped a little bit.
Of course.
You're so sweet, Clint.
Yes.
He's so,
No,
he-
it's-
he's
Shameless
the
plug for
sweetest.
Clint here.
He's the sweetest. He always, like every week, calling, how are you? Just like he asked me now.
Yeah.
How are you percentage-wise? Are you like 90, 95?
Yeah,
And
well, because I think she mentioned it is like her clients become her friends.
That's right.
And my realtor partners become my
Absolutely.
friends. And if there's anything I can do outside, I want them to know that I'm not here for the transaction. I care about
100%.
them, their family, what's going on, how can I help?
You're born to the business. A lot of people don't know that. I don't know if Glenda knew that or not, but the Richey family's got deep roots in the Dallas market, and so you grew up with this. You know how to work with an agent because your family. Your mom and your dad, right?
Yeah.
Both agents.
Well, we talk about that as like, one of the things that I learned from my mom was, she was obviously a little disappointed that I didn't get into real estate.
But you did.
Yeah, and that's a story for a whole nother day. But I got into mortgages, and one of the very first things that she taught me was, hey, look, you're going to be calling on realtors, and realtors. It's really great that you bring donuts and cookies and you drop off flowers.
Honor them, right?
You take them to lunch and all that stuff. She goes, but if you really want a long-lasting relationship, you need to be vested in your realtor. And I was like, vested? What are you talking about? Because at the time,
Yeah, you're young.
Yeah, I had just come out of working at Fidelity Investments in the 401k department. So I'm like, vested? I mean, I'm not getting my retirement anytime soon. She goes, no, dummy. She's like, vested in helping them grow their business, helping them, make their life better, right? And I was, there were several ways that we talked about that. My mom was brilliant in a lot of different areas. Very hard, very driven.
And a founding member of Keller Williams' office, right? One of the first brokers to actually work for Keller Williams.
She was one of the first. I always say the first 6. My dad corrected me the other night. It's actually one of the first 10, but nevertheless.
And we've got a cool podcast coming up about that too, kind of the beginning of Keller Williams and your family's involvement in that.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's a great story. But
we're not talking about Keller.
We're not talking about Keller
Monument
Williams.
today.
We're talking about
We're
Monument and the
Glenda.
great Glenda.
Yeah.
So it goes back to I just really care about Glenda, and she reciprocates that, and that's appreciated, because I think we've all worked with some realtors. It's like, hey, as long as you're helping me, I'm going to be nice, but they don't ever necessarily reciprocate, and that's not Glenda. Glenda reciprocates.
I've been in the business
she goes above and beyond.
for 2 decades, and for a long time I didn't want to work with realtors. We did a lot of refi stuff because I'd had bad experiences, and I thought, I don't want to go back on that ride again, But with the techniques that we're using today to get in front with the right people, and getting an opportunity to really build relationships.
That's because we've got a clear plan now.
We do.
First time in our careers we've had a clear plan.
That's right. Because there's not always a lot of education about how to do this on both your side and on our side, right? And we're all coaching members. We plug this often. We're in the mortgage marketing animals. David and I are Freedom Club members. Clint's a mortgage marketing animal, and we follow very specific business practices. One of them is about the follow up and making sure that we're connecting with like-hearted and like-minded people, because we want success partners, right? We want success partners, and we want to be a part of that success. It's not all about the give, right? We want to give back. We want to give back. So
before we let go, Clint asked a question. I'm curious. Glenda, 2023. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Big goals, right?
Yeah, thanks, Dave.
Well, continue to help people. That's my north. I think when I help one, and that's one of my biggest things, referrals. People that I help,
that's right,
they tell their friends, and you have to meet my realtor.
Yep.
And I've gotten many over the past 2 years, and I think that's the biggest compliment.
Absolutely.
When someone values what I've done for them, and they just want to share it with their family, with their friends. So definitely continue to educate people.
Yeah.
Jen Brandt, she's one of the greatest realtors in our group. She was saying the other day in one of her videos, everybody's buying a house. Either
right.
You're buying it for your landlord or you're buying it for yourself. So I think people need to understand that you need to start to get ready.
Absolutely.
I'm not about the right now client. I'm about the education.
100%.
And if you're not right now in the spot to buy a home, that's fine. I don't want to call when you're ready. I want to be there to get you ready.
The preparation.
Yeah. Because
it's a process.
It is.
And a lot of people don't realize till they jump in, and then they get scared because they didn't have the education up front. So if you start talking to your agents earlier, you start talking with your loan officers earlier, you know what you can qualify for. You know what you're looking to do. You can actually build upon that so that when it is the right time to buy, Glenda's going to be there to put you in the right house.
And you can get ready. I have a client that I started working with 2 years ago. And when at the moment, he wanted to buy a mobile home, and we talked, and do you think this is really what's best for your family?
The long term.
Right. So right now, he's in the process of purchasing.
Yeah.
And it's a 2-year process.
That's great. You know,
So-
I take this back to years ago when I was a kid and I was selling electronics, right? And I think, this goes back to putting people on the right product. And I had somebody come in one time, and it's more than one time, and they'd say, hey, I want this TV. And I'm, well, why do you want this TV? Because it's cheap, right? And I got this much money on me right now. And I'd walk them over to a couple other products and show them some different things. I'd say, hey, do you sure you want this one? Let me tell you what this does and why I think it's better for your needs. And they'd say, you know what? You're right. I really want that TV, but I don't have the money for it right now. But I'm going to save and come back. And, instead of doing, the normal salesperson thing, go, no, let's buy this one over here because you're ready to buy right now. I waited and I followed up on them, hey, are you ready to buy that TV? And they came back in and they bought the TV from me, right? And that goes into, what you're talking about here, right? You're not just selling somebody something because it's going to benefit you. You're making sure that you're putting them on the right pathway to benefit themselves. But when? Is it today? Is it tomorrow? Is it 2 years from now? Glenda's going to be there for you however long it takes to find that right house. And, like she said before, the money's going to come when it comes, right? But knowing that you're doing the right thing, right, that's what helps move the needle. And that's why you're doing such amazing things in the industry.
Yeah, so real quick, so you talked about training, newer agents and helping them, get to, where you are. So do we see any potential younglings that you might team up with and say, hey, I'm gonna you come work with Glenda, the Glenda Fabregas team, and we're gonna do great things together, and I'm gonna believe in you, even though you may not necessarily believe in yourself. And
Mentorship.
Until you get to the point where you do believe in yourself. Do you see yourself, branching out, maybe putting together a team or something
Grow
like
that
that?
team up a little bit.
I think so. I don't know just yet, but I already have my name. It's Realty Finders Group.
Let's go.
So that's going to be, that's my name already. I'm working on a webpage
Nice.
that hopefully will be launching in the next couple of months.
That's awesome.
And
Look out.
hopefully, yes, I could definitely see myself getting people to be on my team. It's not something that I want right now. I think I want to, I don't know, become better as an individual agent so I can
Well, you're in the 5%, so you're doing pretty darn good.
Yeah, exactly.
But I always tell whenever I have the opportunity, because actually Mel, my rookie trainer when I was a rookie, she is at Monument right now.
Absolutely.
So she's the one that she brings me on to talk to her newer agents. Whenever I'm with them, I tell them, please, whenever you need, whenever you're in doubt. I think the worst part of being a new agent is not knowing who to
100%.
call. And when are we writing contracts? When everyone is sleeping or so I tell them, please, this is my number. You call me whenever you need me.
Yeah.
So it's not only for my clients, it's also, again, what do you call me? The
Mama hen.
Mama hen.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mama Hen, if you ever need some help or insight on, how to grow that team or how to make sure your website looks right, those are things that we do here too. And we are invested in helping our partners. So, if there's any way that we can point you in the right direction,
Thank you.
We're here for it. And Clint's got some cool things. He'll, do our agent mastermind stuff. We've got a success plan for realtors that we can share with you as well if he hasn't already. So we're vested in your success also. So, well, I know we're getting close to the end here, so we can't, as much as I'd love to talk to you all day, we've got things to do. We've got families at home.
I have clients to serve.
We all do.
She's got a pack for Japan.
She's got to go to Japan.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to be making that suitcase the day before.
I love it. Well, is there anything that we should have asked you that we didn't already ask you?
And don't be humble. Go ahead.
No, I think you covered it all.
I doubt that. But at the end of the day, we've covered a lot here, so it's good stuff, and it's been an absolute pleasure having you here on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Guys, we got to get a shameless plug in here for Glenda. So if you want to find Glenda, and you're looking at buying a house, what area do you typically cover? What's your favorite
So
part of the
North
market?
Dallas.
North Dallas.
Our office is newly opened in Prosper.
The Star.
Well,
okay.
our headquarters are in the Star, but we have offices in Flower Mound, Dallas, Prosper. We just opened Rockwall.
I got to come check out your Prosper office. You're in my
Yes.
neck of the woods.
So Prosper is where our office.
Prosper and
from.
prosper.
Yes. Yes. But I do everywhere that I'm needed.
And so how do we find you? If we're trying to locate Glenda, right?
So I'm an Instagram Realty Finders group. That's my tag. 214-773-9669. Call and text. If my eyes are open, I'm working.
Run that back one more time. What was that number?
214-773-9669.
There we go. There we go. So if you're wanting somebody that's really there to guide you through, somebody that's going to take the time to find you the right property, and it doesn't matter what the price point is. At the end of the day, she wants to help you into your home. Call on Glenda. I promise she'll take great care of you. And Mr. Richey, how about you, brother? Is there anything we should ask you, David? We didn't?
No, I mean, like I said, I just wanted to tell, now you can kind of see why I was so excited.
I know. Yeah, he's been
she's
talking
a rock star,
talking
man.
about it.
I was like, I got the perfect candidate. But yeah, no, there's nothing you need to ask me. But if there's anybody out there looking for the same level of service from the lender that Glenda gives her clients, I'd love the opportunity to talk to you. And you can reach me at the RicheyMortgageTeam.com. Or you can reach me directly at 972-679-1028. That's RicheyMortgageTeam.com or 972-679-1028.
There it is, man. There it is. Well, David.
He's wonderful.
You know what? I'm biased, and I think he's pretty wonderful too, man.
I have to tell you the story of how I met him once.
See, I knew you had one more thing to say.
So Clint saved a deal of mine. Oh. So it wasn't by chance, but he saved one of my deals. My previous lender moved.
Yep.
We were closing the next week, and he said, "Glenda, I'm sorry, they're going to assign you to someone else." I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?"
Right.
Because I dip my toes everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm very, vested. So Clint was the one that was assigned to me.
That's amazing.
It was fate.
I might have assigned that loan to you, didn't
I think
Was
so.
that maybe me, Clint?
Hey, I think you know what? I think you need to get
So I put this match
Yeah,
together.
you
There
did.
When
you
I
go.
met when he heard when he talked to me, I was like, "Okay, I'm okay.
He's a good one.
It's okay."
He's 30 years or more in the business with his mom and dad.
Yeah.
He grew up in this. So.
Well, I was going to say, one of my favorite phrases is God puts people in people's lives for a reason. But in this case, it might have been Mr. Dubuc.
Mr. Duper.
I can't take that credit.
Right.
I cannot take
No,
that credit.
she's awesome, man. I love working with Glenda. So
Thank you.
Well,
Love
David,
working with you too.
anything that I should have mentioned or anything that you want to talk about?
No, this was an awesome show. I just want to thank both of our guests for being on here tonight.
It's been an honor.
It has been.
It's been an honor.
This made my week,
You deserve it. You
Yes.
deserve
and
it.
I got an award yesterday, so this means
That's it.
a lot.
You get to show off a little bit today. It's good
Yeah,
stuff.
but this
so.
was just out of this world.
Awesome. Love to hear that. Well, then I guess we'll tie this one up. Guys, if you want to follow us, you can find us on Instagram, iHeartRadio. I'm sorry, we are on Instagram, but iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube. We're on all the major platforms, Spotify, and we'd love for you to download and like it. 5 stars. We love the 5 stars. So subscribe, like, and we're what are we? We're real estate success partners, right, David?
We are real estate success
Yeah,
partners.
we're the real estate success partners. So I'm your host, Devin Dubuc,
I'm David Nguyen.
and thanks for stopping in today.
See you guys.